up, guys? It is Strider coming at you with some more Pokemon content. Today we are going to be doing our Week 2 match against Team Instinct. I was a little worried about this match. Mega Altaria can give me some problems, especially I thought kind of about what I want to do about Mega Altaria, and I kind of ended up with a very specialized Arcanine set for it. The other thing that I would like to note really quick before we actually jump into the match, from the team preview video, I did make a couple of changes. I don't know what I had on Arcanine. I was torn. I don't know if I said this, but I was torn between Ironhead and Roar. I did end up deciding to go with the Roar. The Togekiss, I was torn between Life Orb and Choice Specs. I did decide to go with the Life Orb, kind of last minute. And then the same thing about Garchomp. I didn't really know. I don't remember exactly the item I had on it at the time of the team preview, but I did go with the Yachi Berry just to take those Ice-type moves a little bit better. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and I'll put it on slow so we can talk about it. I'll turn off the music and yeah, let's just see. So right here, the beginning of the match, my plan, I was kind of surprised actually. I'm just going to pause it real quick. I was surprised looking at this team. I didn't see Milotic. Milotic was one of the things I was really scared of. This team actually has a little bit of a hard time with the Milotic. I actually brought Grass Knot on Togekiss, as well as I brought Toxic on my my Slowbro for it. So it was a little, but other than that, there wasn't a ton I could do to touch it. Arcanine doesn't touch it. At +2, actually, one of the reasons I decided to go with Yachi Berry is because at +2, my Garchomp is able to put a pretty big dent in it. But again, it wasn't in this match, so no big deal. The things I was a little bit surprised to see here was I thought he would bring Donphan or Swampert. I didn't really think he'd bring both. I guess I don't know. I thought he would. I don't know. I thought he'd bring like one of them as a Stealth Rocker, and then the other one he has options to remove hazards other than the Donphan. Like he could have used Defog on the Scissor, stuff like that. So I was surprised to see both of those. And then the other thing I was a little bit surprised with is the Electivire. I did not expect to see that, but I was mostly okay with it. It's not very good against my Garchomp, and that's kind of my in-game win condition. And anyways, we'll see how this goes. So I start off with a Togekiss. I get the Electivire matchup right at the beginning, thinking, okay, he's going to go for Volt Switch. I'm going to switch out into my Mamoswine and get up some rocks. I considered the Earthquake for a second, but I was like, no, he's going to switch for sure. So he goes with the Volt Switch. Obviously, I'm immune. I don't know if he's choice locked there or not. If I remember right, he is not. But anyways, I just go with. I also thought about Knockoff, but I didn't. I just went for the Stealth Rocks. Here my plan is I'm like, okay, he's not really going to expect this, so I'm just going to switch right back into Togekiss. He's probably going to go for a water move or set up his own rocks. I wasn't sure. And he does decide to go for the waterfall. I take that on the chin. That's not going to do a whole lot. And I should outspeed this thing unless it's like Scarfed or something or max speed investment. So I go with the Grass Knot and knock it out. So now I'm feeling pretty good. He goes into his Electivire again, so obviously I switch. This time I go with the Arcanine, thinking he's going to go with an Ice move because last time I switched into like a Ground type, so I was like maybe he'll go with an Ice. But he does go for the Earthquake. I was a little surprised by that. And here I believe I just go for the Will-O-Wisp, knowing this will do something to him no matter what. He does have the Volt Switch again, of course. So anyways, he switches out into his, I think, Altaria here. Yes, he does. He goes into his Altaria. I really, really am hoping I hit this Will-O-Wisp. And I do. And right here, I'm like, great. I'm just going to Morning Sun up. He can't do a whole lot to me. There's nothing Altaria learns that can do much to me at this point. His best bet is to set up on me. But again, that is why I have the Roar. So I do go ahead here and just roar it out. I think he goes for Cotton Guard, I want to say. I know he does some setup move. Yeah, he goes for Cotton Guard, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm getting this thing out of here. I do not want to deal with it. Again, that's kind of why this Arcanine is here. Deal with the Altaria. It also deals pretty well with the Electivire. Here, obviously, this is not a good matchup. I can't hurt this thing. I can't even burn it. I can't do anything. But my Slowbro, again, built to kind of take this thing on. So he hits me with, I believe, a Steam Eruption. And my play here is this thing can't touch me. I'm just going to go for I'm just going to go for a toxic on anything. The only thing it won't be able to do anything to is the Altaria, obviously, as well as the Scizor. But he really surprises the crap out of me and goes for Solar Beam there. And I was like, oh, okay. So he had like White Orb or Power Orb Solar Beam. And I was like, that is pretty spicy. I did not see that. Looking over his team, I don't really need this Slowbro anymore. Really at all. So I just say, okay, you can die. And this thing is whittled down enough that something like an Earthquake from my Garchomp will be able to take it out. I thought about going Swords Dance here just to kind of set up, because I'm not sure if this thing can do it, but I don't really want to risk the burn. I don't want to take a Steam Eruption, get burned, and then do that. And then I knew too, right here, so I go for Earthquake. Knowing that I'm basically, this thing's low enough that I'm going to be able to take it out. And you can see there I do more than enough damage. It's only at 17%. So with the Earthquake, I know I outspeed because my Arcanine outsped, and this thing's faster than that. So I do take it out with the Earthquake. And right here, I'm pretty sure I have this one. It's still some plays left, but I'm pretty sure I have it. I know I outspeed this thing. There's like almost no way this thing outspeeds, especially because I know it can't be scarfed because it switched moves. So that thing's dead. I forget exactly what he decides to go into here. Oh, that's right, the Scizor. I forget what I do. Oh, yes, that's right. I do go for the Fire Fang here, knowing if it hits, this thing is dead. Again, I thought about doing a Sword Stance. I'm glad I didn't, though, because obviously 2 bullet punches would have killed me. I think that thing might have been banded. I'm not sure. That's a lot of damage. I'll have to run the calcs. He goes into the Groudon. I can't actually do that much to Groudon, and he might have Ice Shard. So I do decide to just go right into my Mamoswine to take this thing on. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to take it. He does get the 37% damage there, where he gets a lot of damage. That thing did a lot more than I thought it would, especially because I do have some decent HP investment. But I do go with the Icicle Spear, and it does virtually nothing, so I'm like, that's pretty cool. I thought it would do a lot more, actually, but obviously it just didn't do anything. So it dies. That Dom Fan's doing work so far. I'm pretty sure my... I know he might have Ice Shard, but I'm pretty sure this will live an Ice Shard and be able to one-hit KO for sure with Grass Knot. And I do live the Ice Shard. I click Grass Knot here, and I get the kill. So right here it's 4-1. His last mon actually does not do much to my team. I switch here. He does do what I thought he might do earlier and go for the ice move. So I am switching into Arcanine, knowing this thing cannot hurt Arcanine. It just does not do anything to me, even an Earthquake, especially after I get the... he goes for the Ice Punch, does literally nothing. His best chance there was to like freeze me. And then he has a chance, but not really, because my Garchomp outspeeds and kills it in one shot. So I go for the he goes for the Earthquake while I go for a Willow, I believe. And I know it doesn't do a whole lot, so even a super effective move like Earthquake only does 30-something% to me, I think, or something. It was 34%. So here I just go for the heal, knowing this thing is just dead. It's not going to do anything. It does. That time it went down to 18%. I just heal up, Morning Sun up, and then here I just go for Flare Blitz. I'm just like, let's just get this game over with. And I do get the Flare Blitz off, and if I remember right, it kills, but we'll see. He goes for Earthquake, does 18%, not a whole lot, and I get the Flare Blitz off, and it does take it out. So there it is. There's my Week 2 match. I wish I could have got my opponent on, but he said he was busy. I recorded this pretty much right after we played, and I just wanted to get him on, but again, no big deal. I was really surprised by that Solar Beam play. I did not even factor that in when I was building the team. That completely caught me off guard, so that was a great play. Obviously, it only works once, but, for him to have the forethought in order to, bring the power in order to deal with something that completely walls him. Man, I was looking up and down his moves, and I did not even think about Solar Beam. I figured, I don't know. I did not think it was going to happen. But that's the match, guys. Thanks for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Again, if you were a little confused about the sets or really what was going on, please take a look at my my prep video, and it should give you a better idea of kind of what my game plan was. Thanks again for watching, guys, and have a good one.